paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe, and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, it's all right, refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying. I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And yes,
I don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
Well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
Hello, everyone. Welcome into Brainstorm Brewery. I'm Corbin Hostler. I'm joined this week by DJ, as always, or at least as most of the time when flights don't get canceled. Cass, still recovering from a long weekend in Richmond. So, what we did this week is we decided to bring on a member of the community. Someone you may know, you may not. They've recently started taking over management of a new website called Commander's Herald. We have Jason Alt on the show.
Hey everybody, glad to be here. Long time listener, so this should be interesting.
Jason starts the cast off with a lie. There's no way he listens to this show.
I mean, not anymore.
Welcome in, everybody. It's DJ, Jason, and Corbin. It's the old school crew this week to talk about Ninja Turtles and also everything else that happened in Magic this week, because as it turns out, it's been pretty busy. And oh, by the way, Strixhaven spoilers start next week or something.
The printing will continue until morale improves.
Well, morale's great.
Depends.
Morale is at an all-time high if you don't look at Reddit and just go break into somebody's house and ask them about their magic. Like if you just like stalk somebody, like if you walk, like, okay, so just hang out around Walmart, just like wear, I don't know, like a trench coat, maybe some I don't know. Like,
so my mistake was going to the Ninja Turtles pre-release events, trying to meet people.
Get some binoculars going, just like follow somebody home who picks up a pack of turtles at Target and like break into their house and ask them how they feel. But man, they'll be delighted. They'll be like, "Hey, thanks for talking to me. Like, nice ninja skills. Haha, you got into my house pretty easily, didn't you? Haha." And then you can just like, get your boots on the ground at the ground floor of like the base level. Like, don't talk to Reddit. Don't talk to Twitter. That's where the cesspool is. That's where the ooze is. The mutagen. You don't want the ooze. You don't want the mutagen.
Can I tell you, I haven't read a tweet in a calendar year.
Good for you.
It's what a cesspool.
It's like a chip.
No, I would like a chip for not being on Blue Sky because
Jason's disconnected from all of it, and I imagine he's much happier now.
Yeah, but I still read the news, so I'm still just as...
Well, there is that, yes. But at least you're, slightly less infuriated. But yeah, that's the state of the world. The state of Magic is, I think what DJ described there is actually the origin story of Commander. Break into someone's house.
The origin story of Commander is... I don't know. I have nothing. I was hoping something would come to me. I got nothing.
I'm telling you.
DJ knows where all the comedy beats are. He just doesn't know what to put there.
So over the weekend, DJ and I were at the TMNT Spotlight event. And to DJ's point about Magic morale, I will say that the Spotlight event was awesome. There were new strategies, like entire new decks, like Mono White Momo popping up, which is just this much development this far into Standard that's had regional championships and world championship, like not since Avatar came out. It was a lot of... The Standard format's been great, a lot of innovation, a lot of innovation, and a lot of positive feedback. However, this was a weekend where there were 650 people at the Magic Spotlight. And there were 4,000 people at a Lorcana event in Europe. There was a regional championship going on in Europe as well. I'm not sure, since that's not an open invite, how we should count that sort of thing. But there was a lot of discourse over the weekend about, is it a is it a bad sign about Magic that there are 650 people in the Grand Prix?
I don't think so.
Yeah, there are other ways to go to a Magic event than going to a Grand Prix, because I don't know, it always felt like half the people there weren't playing the main event.
Well, It felt like that more but 10 years ago or so, 2015, 2016, we were hitting those 3,000
3,000
person modern events. If Magic's so much bigger than it was 10 years ago, how are we getting 600 people to?
Because we're getting more casuals. Like, Magic has never been more fun to play casually and never been more miserable to play competitively. Like,
I would say
the first part is true.
It's also the fact that like these events are more concentrated. Like 10 years ago, we didn't have 40,000 people showing up to Vegas, right? Like the Final Fantasy Vegas had a 5-digit number of unique badges sold,
paying attendees, unlike the Grand Prix, for instance.
People paying to be there, flying to be there, whether they're for 1 day or 2 day, 3 day, whatever. But like these events are a little bit more concentrated in the larger Magic Con economy because that's the can't miss event of the year.
Yeah.
And Richmond
we didn't know how good we had it.
Richmond's also like a historically like not easy city to get to. It's like a little too far from DC, not DC, a little too far from New York City, a little too far from like Atlanta. There's just like a lot of like annoying little.
There's lots of real like logistical reasons we can talk about. We can talk about how it was Ninja Turtles release weekend,
and it should have been in New York City.
That might have made some sense. There's lots of
trophy.
There's lots of legit. Yes, I did.
I mean, Corbin saw the trophy. Jason, did you see the trophy?
Oh, okay. God damn it. That is cool.
It's a wall mount trophy, so it's like made.
I'm annoyed that I like that.
Yeah, this is their big thing with the Spotlight series is to have unique trophies or prizes awarded for each of them, and I don't know necessarily how great of a job. Like obviously. It does it bringing in people. Last year they had a design your own secret lair spotlight, and I just don't think most people care. I think most of the people are there to either just do a Magic event, hang out with friends, and to DJ's point, a lot of them would end up at a Magic Con instead, or it's people specifically there to chase the Pro Tour. And maybe to Jason's point, chasing the Pro Tour does not encompass the majority of Magic players anymore.
No, not even close.
Which is to not so yeah. I also don't like. I don't know if you're Wizards of the Coast. If you look at the Spotlight series and say this is unsuccessful, they had like 1,800 people in Toronto the weekend before, or the month before, which I guess was the first big event in Toronto in quite some time. A lot of discourse about whether limited was more popular, whether standard's the problem. Is that the issue that the Spotlight was standard? That's why I thought it was interesting to pose the question to you all to get some perspectives.
I think it's somewhat there are benefits and drawbacks to standard being continually developed this late in the metagame. Like you're saying, oh, this new deck came out, people are really excited, but I think there's a similar number of people who are like, that's a lot of money to keep up with this format that is constantly changing. I don't want to have to build blue-red spells and then blue-green Badger Mole and then blue mono green landfall and then mono white Momo and then Dimir mid-range all over the course of this 4-month time period. The standard format is difficult to keep up with in that sense. I do agree. Whether or not that is a necessary sacrifice to make the game grow as a whole is a whole different conversation.
I'm gonna hit you with this design philosophy that I've spoken with people about, and I believe is the case. And maybe I'm cooking here, maybe I'm crazy. When I started playing in original Lorwyn, a lot of the sort of discourse around design at the time was about how they just gave you all these fairy cards, for instance, in the fairy set. And you just put all the fairy cards that said fairy next to each other into a deck, and alongside Thoughtseize and Mutavault or whatever, and that was the deck. And the complaint was that Wizards was sort of spoon-feeding archetypes rather than like basically designing decks rather than designing cards individually and then letting people do with them what they will. Okay. So that's the sort of the context here. Over, I would say, the past 10 years, we have had a lot of formats where it is clear that Wizards has just designed the cards and then the best decks end up being soup, right? We had years and years of Esper mid being the best deck or the default best deck, and if it wasn't Esper, it was Grixis. And if it wasn't Grixis, it was Dimir. And it was just a collection of good cards rather than necessarily synergistic archetypes.
Well, they had that in Lorwyn too. Like you could just play a Vivid Land Reflecting Pool, all the good cards.
Pat Chapin's like,
But
what
no,
if we
that's an
splash for
that's-
Cryptic Command?
But actually not, DJ. Like that's actually an they created that archetype. They printed that to be a constructed deck. They didn't just happen to print some cards and then people did it together. Like they built a 5-color thing. So so fast forward to where we're at today. We had the years of Dimir Midrange or whatever. Now if we look at stuff, we have Is It Lessons, which is almost entirely from Avatar. We have something like Mono Green, which comes out of largely, again, Avatar. And then you look at...
is a big chunk of that deck.
Do what?
Edge of Eternities is a big chunk of that deck. Like
Just because they were doing the same kind of the same time, so that worked out real nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a landfall deck. Like so the discussion that there were that was sort of going around, like, you know, the more design-oriented players in Richmond, is that we're sort of moving back into that world where, and it's been spoken about by various designers on Twitter as well, where it feels like their goal is to dump the Lessons deck into the Lessons set. And then you can play your Lessons deck, your Avatar. Essentially, this comes down to playing your baseline Avatar deck against someone else's baseline Lorwyn deck versus someone else's baseline Ninja Turtles deck, because all the cards that make up their synergistic deck archetype are more or less self-contained. Obviously,
until Strixhaven comes along and gives us a new legend that ruins standard.
Well, I'd say that's the discussion, is that it feels like they're, instead of trying to design decks to exist over the course of a year through 5 different sets, they're dumping different decks into narrower windows so that people, and if you think it through, this is, if someone comes into the game because they're playing Avatar and you as Wizards of the Coast want them to play Standard because that's your pipeline, right? That's how you get people into your game forever, right? So you say, okay, we're going to make Universes Beyond Standard so they can play the cards they want. Well, and then you get into it, well, what if their cards are all shit? Well, okay, we're going to make sure there's a playable deck from this person with Avatar cards, with Ninja Turtle cards, with Star Trek cards, so that these people can actually play the things that are getting them into the game. I believe that is a sort of like 1,000 mile view of how they are approaching 3-year Standard with 7 sets a year.
That's kind of how Universus works, though, right? Because Universus is like, all this deck is from this set. So
yeah, it's a natural confluence of what happens when you get rid of blocks, which again, I have no strong feelings about one way or another. There's like plenty of downsides to blocks of like, no one is excited for Journey into Nyx.
Right.
No one is excited for the 3rd Battle for Zendikar set or the whatever, because like it is the same mechanics slightly tweaked over the course of a year. Like the biggest draw to blocks obviously is the world building, the slow story burn. Like, yes, I would have loved if Phyrexia All-Be-One into March of the Machines into something else was the war told over the course of 3 years, but like you have to really navigate the way you do card mechanics with that, because you can't just do the same year of card mechanics over and over and over of like, oh, we have a year and a half of corruption gameplay. Like that's less exciting. So like it is a very tricky seesaw to navigate between long form storytelling and card design. Yes. Well,
also they never really got block constructed to catch on, which was a fantastic.
I mean, it was a constructed format for like competitive play, but never really like anyone outside of.
Oh, no one's playing block constructed at F&M, but it was like you go to a 200 person PTQ or whatever.
And it's really anathema to casual players to be told like you can't hodgepodge your deck together with the other cards you own. It has to be these new, it feels a little baity to the average casual player, I think, of, oh, you just get to restrict yourself to these. Like, that's why the casual players don't play Standard originally, is like, why
they play Commander.
Just 2 years of cards? Psh, I want to use all my cards. Like, that's...
Well, that's why they made it 3-year Standard. Again, like, this is the actual, and this is where I kind of got onto this, is because you brought up that it's, they're doing 3-year Standard. People want to have their cards and play with them, but... How do you actually make that happen, especially if you assume someone's jumping in all at once? It does make sense from, I guess, a business/design perspective. If you can dump a playable deck into each set instead of spacing 4 playable decks out over 4 sets, if that makes sense, the way I'm describing it, right?
They don't want to
Someone
buy
can actually come in and play
Yeah.
the game at F&M with their mostly avatar deck, right?
And also,
That's
if you're an
gotta be the
avatar
goal.
pervert, you don't want to go buy 4 Tifa to go in it.
Yeah, I mean,
Also-
like, obviously, eventually people are going to, like, it's not like we're literally playing, you know, your cards can't be from anything else, but it's just more of the fact that, like, if you're somebody who comes in because your universe is beyond acquiree via
That would be your
Avatar,
preference.
yeah,
to
you
play
want to
with
play as
mostly
many
Avatar
Avatar
shit.
cards
Yeah,
as you
yeah, yeah.
can. Yeah. So anyway, I think that that's sort of the high level way they're going at it. So I don't actually know what that means to going to the evolution of standard and 7 sets a year. If that's the way they're doing it, we're going to have major upheaval with almost every set. So I don't know. Standard's interesting place, I guess, is the way to put it. And all of those things might describe why 650 people were in the standard event and 1,800 people were in the Toronto limited event.
This is gonna like segue into something else, and we can fit Breaking Bulk in wherever. But like, I had a discussion this weekend about just how high end cards and reserve list cards are going crazy again.
Yeah.
And I think these are related in that Universes Beyond brings back relapsed players, and the average, I mean, if we go into like the Hasbro call from the Q4 or whatever, the average Magic player is 35 years old. And if the average like what's the fucking the Baileys, the Chuck Schumer joke, whatever, some of you will get that, like the average Magic player in Chuck Schumer's mind is like this 35-year-old person who was brought back to the game from Final Fantasy, and they're a software engineer with money to spend, and like that is where all the Gaia's Cradles are going. Like Gaia's Cradle spiked in the past like 2 weeks or so, and it jumped like a penny stock. Like it
DJ,
jumped
I'm gonna throw something crazy at you here, though.
I could have bought 4 Gaia's
No,
Cradles
no,
from Corbin and didn't.
Okay, DJ, Pokemon cards are doing the exact same thing in the past 2 weeks. Like,
Yeah.
the Charizard that was like,
Yeah, I think this is related.
we're talking tripling in the past 2 weeks.
You
of
think it
cards
has
that were
anything to do
already
with
chase cards?
Gold and silver being like way more volatile than people thought? Everyone thought gold was like a safe bet, and it just, I don't know.
I don't know
It seems
what's
like
going
it's the
on,
only
but-
non-volatile
It's
thing,
the
right?
lipstick effect too. It's the economy lipstick effect. It's
Yeah.
all this. It's
Ninja
like-
Turtles cards are very much like Game stocks. Game is that game? What's that card
game-
place called? Game.
GameStop stonks is what you're going for.
Yes,
here.
GameStop.
GameStop
Stocks.
stonks.
I was like, it's called Game Stocks. Game Stocks that you can play. I mean, that's what this is, right? They're meme stocks, but like also it's a Gaia's Cradle. Like the same thing happened with that influx of money and the market volatility around investments due to COVID. We saw the same sort of like ridiculous jumps.
Yeah. And I mean, this was all of these things we've addressed, like the Pokemon boom, the lipstick effect, like the GameStops.
When other people are fearful, make your mana base greedy. I get it.
Well,
Yeah, like
what's
all
interesting?
of these things I think are all contributing factors. And if you look at the graph for some of these reserved list cards on MTG Ban, like the last time some of these cards had a big spike was COVID. Like that is just, we're overdue. If you look at the graph before COVID, going back to like 2012, if you look at that ticker, like Gaia's Cradle jumped by some amount of big dollars every 2 or 3 years. We're 6 years since COVID. We're just due for a big reserve list spike, and it hasn't happened in those years. And now it's all happening at once with this Pokemon boom, with all these other things. We're getting like $1,000 Mox Diamonds and everything like that. And I think this is just a rising tide lifting all boats, and it's going to be.
Or it's one tech bro is buying every Magic card.
I have one other wrench to throw into this. We are hitting tax season, and I did see a couple people in a thread about tax season on Facebook, the most anecdotal of evidence, say, I'm seeing a lot of people get a lot of money back this year.
Sure.
I don't know anything about
Imagine getting money back.
Yes, I don't know anything about it except that those are the things that have crossed my personal.
Relevant.
And so when you say these reserved list cards spike like they're a penny stock, I literally had the exact same thought writing my Pokemon article yesterday, because I'm looking at cards that like rose from $50 to $100 over some number of months, and now they're $250 in the past week. Like, none of it makes any sense. So there's
And
got to
there
be
is
something in the
sales
larger
data
market.
to back it up on things like
Yeah.
Box Diamond, Gaia's Cradle, Judge Survival of the Fittest. I think is a really good one. But like, I think that these will continue to float upward for the other high-end Magic cards, like, because these cards have always existed in a ratio to each other. Like, Gaia's Cradle is always, like, a little bit less expensive than an Underground Sea for the longest time, or, like, close to an Underground Sea, and now Underground Sea is going to be over $1,000, I think, maybe? Like, but we're also in this weird paradigm of, like, okay, the rubber band will snap eventually, and when it does, it will snap back hard, so you can't be over-leveraged too much into these crazy things. Like, if you got
But also,
earlier,
when it does
that's
snap back, the whole U.S. economy is going to collapse. So, like, we will have bigger problems than, like, having a couple useless
Oh,
cradles.
this is crazy. Cradle's like 1,500. There's
Yeah.
less than 30 available, or maybe about 30 available at all on TCG Player.
Remember I was talking about buying 4 of them, like, a month ago?
I did offer them for you for like 1,000 each, I think.
I know, dude.
I'm glad I didn't sell them to you.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
I
mean,
Well,
would
like,
like them.
I'm glad I didn't spend
800
$4
on HP,
4
but-
grand on cradles because I wouldn't be playing them right now. So
Oh man, this
I
is
guess
all
making 2
very-
grand on the flip would have been okay.
This is all very interesting to me though, because I was like, Pokemon Day was last month, and I'm like, is this really what's driving this? I wonder if it's just tax season.
Carkino's paying $5,000 for a near mint Judge Foil Gaia's Cradle.
That's crazy.
What will actually getting tariff refund checks do to the Magic community? Let's speculate.
Well,
We saw
COVID
it,
was
right?
real
Like,
good.
we
If
saw
we got
it.
$3,000 from the government, that would.
Prices are insanely high. If you've got any reserved list stuff, it feels like you don't want to sell it right now.
Well,
Nope.
like, it depends, because I think that
Or
there are
maybe
cards
this is
that have
exactly
already
when you
spiked,
sell it.
And I think that there are cards that have not spiked, and the cards that have not spiked yet are like Black Lotus.
Yeah.
Like,
A little
like,
less playable. A little less playable.
I agree. I 100% agree. They're less playable. Like, the average Magic player does not care about building a set of power. But, like, if you have a Fact or Fiction pile and it's 2 foil Gaia's Cradles or Black Lotus, which one do you pick? And they're
You also don't want to be like, I have money to get a Black Lotus, which is my holy grail. I've wanted it since 6th grade. Let me see how much an LP unlimited copies are for. If you got Black Lotus to put in a display case money, then you got good Black Lotus money.
generally,
So, like-
if you're buying with cash, yes.
Yeah, so
most,
like
most players are trading their whole binder for a Lotus. And
so
if-
kind of
if
like
they
the
want
people
case
that play
game,
Lotuses are either like, yes, I've always wanted one, I'll trade my whole binder for it, or like, I'm just gonna play this in vintage.
I looked up Candelabra on DJ's advice here. There are 11 copies listed on TCG Player. The cheapest is $2,600.
Look at the sales data. Look at the completed sales on
The
TCG.
most expensive is $5,000.
But this could be all Sam
Completed-
Bankman-Fried doing this. This could all be
Completed-
one asshole.
Sure, completed sales data on the card. March 7th, LP 2500. March 7th, near mint 2400. March 7th, HP 2100. March 7th, LP 2100. March 7th, MP 2000. Someone's
Like,
buying
even
them
if-
out.
Even if
Someone's
it is
buying
what
out the reserve
billionaire
list.
Monopoly character buying all the power, that doesn't change that the market move can be real. We saw this with
Oh,
Oak, like,
100%.
10 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that at all. Like,
But
that's
also, even
clearly
if
bought
it's
out, but-
artificial, that will inform other buying behavior.
I mean, it's a reserved list. Like like Underground Sea is just $1,000 now. It never won't be again. Right?
I think
Like-
it can. I think it can drop. Like we did this in 2018 with like the whole crypto spike. Like there was a Vegas GP where vendors were buying Underground Sea for $1,000.
You're right. You're right. It dropped.
Like
Well, in 2018, Underground Sea peaked out at about 700 retail, and it then went down to about 475 retail. So you're right. It can drop. But if it's
So
1500,
you know what we need to do?
It may not
we need
be
to
under
close
1,000.
the economy like it was during COVID and never open it back up. Don't make people leave their houses. Making people leave their houses is violence. Let everyone stay home and give them a UBI.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get those.
I mean, I'm
those
here for
tariff-
that. I thrived during COVID. I was happy to
I-
play. I'm just playing.
I'm
Inspired.
I'm not gonna lie, it improved my life so much because my wife was like, "You can work remote," and then it's like, you know what? Work remote forever.
I also liked COVID. Like being at home. It was great.
I like my family. Like, if you don't like your
yes.
family, like
That
you
is what it comes down. That is what it comes down
You
to.
chose those people.
Yeah, all of us who like actually married based on people we want to spend time with.
Yeah, we're like COVID was great. I hung out with my family during the day. We got paid. I played Among Us at night. Like, COVID was awesome outside of, COVID.
It felt like college a little bit.
Yes, you're right. It did. That's actually probably what's really getting us.
That's the episode, JJ. The episode title: COVID was great.
It felt like college. COVID felt like college.
I can't give me that COVID 26, baby. Hook it into my veins.
Felt like college. Oh man. Okay. Well, that was all. That was actually genuinely very interesting.
Oh, before anybody's like, my
here.
mother died of COVID.
My grandma died of COVID. My
Nobody
grandma
smart died of COVID.
Bro, my grandma died of COVID. Okay, she was in a nursing home. She got probably full on Andrew Cuomo'd. Okay.
Break some fucking bark.
Breaking bulk time. Breaking bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, Breaking Bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
And with that, it's time for Breaking Bulk, everybody.
And with what?
With you saying it's time for Breaking Bulk.
Oh, that's in the cast. All right. Breaking bulk time. I've listened to this cast, but I've never been on it, so I know the songs. Because when you record the cast, you don't hear the songs, but when you listen, like me, a longtime listener, you hear the songs. And if I could erase me saying, "Oh yeah, there's so much good stuff," I fucking would. I hate that. That doesn't sound good.
We can update it. We can update it with whatever you want.
Sometimes I will
Someone
have
who's
a
on the
good
cast,
line.
maybe.
But sometimes we'll have a good line, and I'll be like, hey, JJ, remember that line. Clip that line. And then one time I was like, hey, we should take all those lines I've been telling JJ to clip, and we should, update the intro. And you all are like, no, the Dollops had the same intro for 35 years. We have to keep it
That's
the
not
same.
true. The Dollop has changed their intro multiple times.
Well, that's what y'all fucking said.
They got rid of Queen Shit of Liesville. They got rid of all of that.
I like that Dave's kid is old enough to hate the intro now.
Yeah, my Hey Gaddy is there's so much good stuff. Could we get rid of that forever? Here's a better one, JJ. Use this instead. Hey, it's you bulk and you break it. Yeah, you break some bulk. You got. I don't know. Yeah, forget it.
Got him. Let's see if you all can get this one. I have a black card from Gate Crash.
Black card. It's the rat token. It's the Ogre Slumlord rat token. Corbin.
No, it's not. It's the black card that's like remove all the stuff from the grave. Oh, I can picture the art. It's it's purple.
Crypt Incursion is from Dragon's Maze, but I do love where you're going with this.
No, not the 3-drop. Crypt Incursion is a 3-drop. I'm talking the 1-drop.
You're both wrong. It's an uncommon.
Okay. Crypt Incursion is one of the 3 picks from Dragon's Gate, though.
This is from Gate Crash.
Yeah, Dragon's Gate Crash.
Gate Crash. Is it
Black
the Ballstrid Spy or the other one?
No.
No, that's common.
Well, there's 2 though. Undercity Informer is the other one.
Oh, Jesus. There's so much.
Is it Undercity Informer?
There's so much bad stuff.
So much good stuff.
So much bad stuff.
Shadow Alley Denizen?
No, good guess though.
That's uncommon?
I don't know. I was very confident on the rat token, and now I'm in shambles. So we're struggling here now.
Tavern Swindler.
It's
a $6 foil. This card is. Does that help? It's a cute
No.
card.
That's
the
a cute
actual
card.
base version is not really worth a
Devour
ton, but
Flesh.
No, that was a good guess, DJ. That was an excellent guess.
That's the one I was thinking of. I don't know, man. I'm stumped.
All right. I can tell you all.
I
if
refuse
you're
to give me 30 seconds.
I told you there's purple in the art. Is there purple in the art, Corbin?
Let's see. No. It is a 15-cent buy list card though, and a $4 foil buy list card to Card Kingdom.
Grizzly Spectacle.
Nope. I win.
Can we be done?
Can I tell you? It's Thrall Parasite.
Oh, I should have gotten this.
Throw Parasite is too good to be breaking bulk.
It's
How many times
a
is...
couple times?
No, it's not. It's 50 cents.
How the f*** is that only 50 cents? It has extort and it removes counters.
Yeah,
That's one of the best cards ever printed. How the f is that under $1?
It's a $6 foil.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
It was reprinted in the list.
Sure.
So the base version, at times in the past, was $2. At the moment, it's 50 cents, but it's a 15-cent buy list, and it's a $6 foil.
It's such an incredible card. Oh, I can't believe that. All right. That's a card that was too good for me to even consider it as a possibility. And you know what? I think my pick of the bulk breaking, my pick for breaking bulk from this week, you could call it my weekly pick, is from Aether Drift, and it is a green uncommon.
Cass would know.
Yeah, our resident drifter is not here.
Did Aether Drift have like enchant? But it's got to be some kind of commander thing.
It's a commander thing for sure, Z's. It's also very similar to cards that have been printed in other sets, but it has a small amount of Aether Drift specific upside.
So it's got some start your engines.
It doesn't. It has a pilot.
It's gotta be like a naturalized that blows up a vehicle or some shit. Or like
No. It references mounts and vehicles.
Yeah.
Mounts something they with
Is
their
this like an
powers more or
exploding veggies,
something.
but it crews a vehicle or something?
It's pretty close to that. I think you guys might feel kind of stupid that this is almost $2 on Card Kingdom. This is Defend the Rider. So on a base level, Defend the Rider is target permanent you control against hexproof and indestructible. Fine, great. For 1 green mana, very playable. Decks like Bello, Balthier and Fran, Tifa, anything you want to protect your I'm all in on this commander. But also the second possible modular ability is create a 1/1 pilot with this can saddle and cruise if it has 2 power. So that's just a little bit of upside on a very playable card. Defend the Rider is just like all those, your creature gets hexproof and indestructible, but with upside. I mean, making a 1/1 is non-trivial as an instant.
Yeah, it's a tricky little 1-mana instant blocker when they think you're. Yeah, I see.
I thought maybe this might be related a little bit to Standard with mono green, because I know that they play, but they usually play Royal Roll, I believe is the one that they play to give their creature.
Oh yeah, to give it a permanent buff as well. Yeah,
or whatever makes the Royal Roll. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't remember the card offhand, but the point is these effects are good and people play them everywhere.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I want my Royal Roll to be Prince Andrew. That seems like a good roll. I haven't read the news lately. How's he doing?
No longer a prince. All right, DJ, what are you looking at?
I have a Stronghold uncommon that is red.
Is that a creature?
Yes.
Flowstone Mauler.
No.
Red.
What set?
It's a what's its rarity?
Which is the gate. It's
which was the last set that didn't have colored.
Goblin War Tactics.
No.
Goblin War Drums.
I said it's a creature, so.
Goblin War Chariots.
No. Mog Fanatic. No, not Mog Fanatic. The other one.
Mog Champion.
No, not Mog Champion. Jesus
Mog
Christ,
Mother.
Corbin. You're the best player on DJ's team right now, Corbin. I'm trying to I played booster drafts during this format, and you're just like naming that doesn't exist. It's very helpful.
Jason, you were really close.
It's not Mog. Is it the one the 1/1 where if it takes damage, it deals damage based on how much it took?
I'll give it to
Mog
you.
something.
Maniac.
Oh, it is
I
Maniac?
almost got there.
I said Mog Fanatic. That's from Tempest. Yeah.
I was like, you're so
Mog
close.
Maniac.
And you see, I named Mog Mother and
yes, Corbin, you were very helpful.
DJ mogged you on that one.
I got mogged.
You got Breaking Bolt.
I got brutally mogged
mogged
by an
Maniac,
OKC frat captain.
Is a 2-mana 1/1. Whenever it is dealt damage, it deals an equal amount of damage to target opponent. So it is in the same line as those Stuffy Doll, Boros Reckoner,
that's good.
Deflecting Palm decks where you try to get your own creature to take a bunch of damage with Blasphemous Act, and then
Brash Taunter, baby.
Yeah, it is the. What year was Stronghold? Like 1998?
97? 98?
Yeah. Close. It's the 1998 version of Boros Reckoner, basically. And it's $1. It's also been on the list before. It's been on the list and Stronghold, so the foils don't exist.
Yeah. Foils don't exist.
All right, well, we're going to have some picks of the week for you. But before we do that, we want to give a shout out to our sponsor that makes this podcast possible, along, of course, with all of you listeners and our patrons. But we want to give a shout out to MTG Ban. The MTG Ban network is how we are able to stay on top of the market. It's how, when we were looking up all these charts earlier to talk to you about reserved list cards, and we're talking about sales and all of this stuff, we're giving you live data. A lot of that's coming from Ban. So you want to check that out. They do a lot of, they really care about our micro community here of Magic Finance and do a lot of great work in the space. And we thank them for supporting us. You can also use our discount code there, 50 BSB. Now, in the past, it was BSB 50, but now it's 50 BSB.
It expired, so we made a new one, and that's 50 BSB. And also, if you don't want to spend any money, because it's on Patreon, Patreon has a free trial, so you can just like not pay them any money, get a free trial, see if you like it, and then if you're like, oh, this is good, then use our discount code, then you save the money. They also came up with a new newspaper. The newspaper is a list of cards that have had the greatest vendor listings decrease. So when we're talking about things like Candelabra, when we're talking about things like Gaia's Cradle Underground Seed decreasing in market, you can see the greatest percentage of decrease in vendor listings of like, oh, wow, the Underground Sea hasn't spiked yet, but if I check the newspaper every day, then you see that, oh, a lot of Underground Seas have disappeared from the market, or Candelabras, or what have you, so you can get on top of the spike before it even happens.
All right, there we go. And you can stay on top of all of these spikes with our picks of the week.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
Little back-to-back Sego action for you here. But why not? Let's have some picks of the week. DJ, you were buying cards all weekend in Richmond. I got a chance to stop by. It seemed like you guys were at least decently busy over the weekend. Anything catch your eye?
Richmond was a better weekend than I expected. I did think it was going to be a little more dull. I tend to grade events on the curve of how much RuneScape XP I get. And in an inverse relationship, I didn't get any RuneScape XP this time, but I was going to play Slay the Spire 2. And I did not get to play many levels of Slay the Spire 2. That is my metric for the next foreseeable future. And I
how much time at work I can spend f***ing off is very millennial as a
yeah.
I like it. It's very millennial coded to be like, I was so busy I did my job.
I think the coolest thing I bought all weekend was a draft set of Euro basics. That was really neat.
Ooh.
Somebody collected 17 of one art from each Euro set, so they went like 17 of one of the plains, 17 of one of the islands, 17 of one of the mountains, etc. And so that was really cool buy. I would not pick
those APAC lands. The Euro lands are all of them. That was cool.
Oh yeah. And the person also had their goal of visiting each of the locations of their draft set.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. That's fun.
I guess if you're only looking at 5 locations, then it's not too bad.
Apparently the biggest issue was they picked the Purple Flower Swamp, which is just like some random swamp in the middle of nowhere in France that is like not a tourist location. It's just like really hard out of the way to get to. So they're like, okay, this is the one place I didn't go to because it's just like
go to Paris.
Not a real
it smells like a swamp. If you think that swamp would smell like cigarettes and BO, then just go to Paris and you got the experience.
The first time I went to France, I was really excited to be in France, and I was going to Lyon, and I was like, "Ooh, it sounds so fancy, Lyon." And I found out it was not well regarded inside of France as one of the places to visit.
Pod 2
it was trying to think of the right comparison here. Maybe like the Tampa of France.
Yikes. The Mobile, Alabama of France.
Like, it was fine, but like people were like, I was surprised, I was not that I'm expecting like, the Eiffel Tower.
Why were you in Lyon? Is that a Flesh and Blood thing or something?
No. I was, that was back when we did, that was before the World Magic Cup. We used to have Grand Prix the weekend before the big events, because all the international players would travel in a week early, 2 weeks early or whatever for their house. They'd play the limited event or whatever we'd have the weekend before. So I was in Lyon, and as a result of that, sometimes I got hired to Europe cruise. So I was in Lyon covering the GP the week before the World Magic Cup in Nice, France. So we all took like a train in between. It was fun.
Nice. Soissons Neuf, Nice.
Nice. It's when I got to go to Monaco and into the Monte Carlo. It was very fun. All right. Well, that's just my travels. Let's talk about some picks of the week. DJ, what are you looking at?
I am looking at the Dragon Scale. Oh, not the Dragon Scale. I'll redo that. I am looking at the special guest foil printings of the Zendikar fetch lands that are not named Scalding Tarn. That is a mouthful. But what you should know is that in
Scalding Tarn has gone up to where it should be.
Correct.
And the others
yes.
haven't.
So
yeah.
the foil Scalding Tarn jumped up to like $100 or so. There's a reasonable number of completed listings. The other fetches have lagged behind it. I think Scalding Tarn is a canary in the coal mine. So borderless foil Misty Rainforest is $50. I would look at that and Marsh Flats, etc. That cycle of fetches that has not already spiked. I think that, like we talked about earlier, the Magic market is just kind of in a rising tide lifts all boats situation. And when you see these big reserveless cards going out, depleting their stock, there are going to be other low supply cards that follow suit relatively quickly. There's plenty of different art for fetch lands nowadays. You have the Zendikar Rising, you have the Expeditions, you have the Dragon Scales, you have the Modern Horizons 2 pre-release or retro or etched or what there's so many different options you have for foiling out your fetches, but the special guests, I think, have lower supply than what everyone else thought they did. I mean, like, the Dragon Scale ones are still so expensive, and those have popped recently, and I think the non-Dragon Scale versions of those foils are not far behind. I guess just put Misty Rainforest in my in my little
that checks out. Yeah. I'm with you. Like, I think 2026, and maybe I'm just a prisoner of the moment here based off my Pokemon data over the past couple weeks and the Magic data over the past couple weeks, but there's just a lot happening in the world right now. And I think that the between like the things we've talked about with like the economy and maybe taxes, and I think these collectible markets might be in for a big year. And maybe that's a little weird to say because it's at various points over the past year or two, we may not have necessarily thought that, but it does look, between the boom in card games in general and what we're seeing just price-wise from stuff, I think that there's going to be a lot of cards moving up here, and targeting staples that people might take for granted like that can be a pretty good idea. All right, I'm going to go a different direction here. I have a penny stock, and it's one I feel pretty good about. It just started to climb, and maybe it'll flatten out, maybe it won't. Screeching Scorch Beast from Fallout. I don't know what a Screeching Scorch Beast is. It's a 6-mana 5/5 flyer with flying and menace. Each player gets 2 rad counters when it attacks. Whenever one or more non-land cards are milled, you can put that many 2/2 black zombie mutant creature tokens into play once a turn. So, honestly, the card itself, pretty good. Nothing special. But it is Universes Beyond, and it's climbed from 25 cents to 75 cents in the past month. We've seen a lot of Fallout cards spiking. We've seen a lot of Universes Beyond cards moving. And as far as penny stocks go, the 50 cent Universes Beyond card that's starting to climb, you could do a lot worse.
If you go to MTG Ban and look up a Fallout collector booster box, you can find out that Card Kingdom will give you $1,000 for it.
God, that's crazy.
I'll give you $980.
Ooh.
The Bioist on Fallout collector boxes is real, and
that secret layer, especially the Mutant Mayhem or whatever, that basically had like 5 Mothman cards, that impacted EDH rec data more than the entire Ninja Turtle set did.
Huh.
So
did it have any new? It didn't even have any new cards in it, did it? It was just like reskins.
A couple of them had new ones, but the Mothman one had 0 new cards.
That's
was all reprints.
That's impressive. The fact that it was no new cards, it was just Mothman Egg and the Wise Mothman.
Yeah. I was impressed that I was
people to
already playing Ripples of Potential because that wasn't in the pre-con. That was just a card I came to the
Ripples of
conclusion
Potential was in
pre-con.
the Hackball pre-con, I believe, and it is busted.
It's a messed up card for sure.
Yeah. I actually had that as a pick of the week for a long time. Or I don't know if I actually made it my pick of the week or whatever, but like that is a card that I thought was going to really move, and then it never did, partially because of the reprint now, but never will. Also was in Commander set, I suppose. Edge of Eternity is kind of messing it up. All right, Jason, you get to wrap it up as the guest. What do you?
I get to wrap it up. Go Ninja,
right?
go Ninja, go, go,
Go,
go,
Ninja.
go and get Anzrag the Quake Mole for your Ninja Turtles decks.
Ooh, I like that card.
Especially Raph and Mikey Troublemakers, who were the second most built deck after Splinter, which is just, oh boy, put every black and blue ninja in a deck. You did it. You're so smart. The
those
Raph
people
and
have
Mikey
never done that.
Troublemakers deck is actually kind of fun. You're putting big, stupid shit to play.
Yeah.
And Anzrag the Quake Mole gives you another combat phase. So Anzrag has always been good. It's from a weird set that has like two $20 cards and everything else is bulk. It's like a $5 card. That's too cheap.
Wait,
That's
did you
an
say
$8
Murders
card.
Has like two
I think
$20
you're missing the outside of the lands.
Oh, the
Sure.
lands. Yeah, those are all 10 plus. Yeah.
I was like,
Those are
Jason,
great.
I assume is not.
Lands in it.
Well, I assume Jason isn't thinking of the lands when it comes to.
I know those are
Commander
money
players.
though. I bought a lot of those and now I'm selling them slowly and it feels good because I tripled up on all of them. But like, yeah, but besides that, it's like,
Actual standout cards from the set are low. Yeah.
yeah, and Anzrag is a mythic and it's under $5 and that's a $10 card. It plays like a $10 card.
They really juiced murders with those lands, by the way.
Plus, you're probably
In
going to get a
retrospect.
Murders at Markov Manor bundle for Christmas this year, so you got a chance to crack one.
Did you say Markov Manor? Get out of here.
Corbin, it's
It is Markov Manor. It's Markov
Corbin,
Manor.
Give up. Surrender. Like, you're
I
the
actually
one
had a-
defending the word literally to the... Like,
One of my best tweets ever was after the Pro Tour, where the Rakdos Vampires deck that Channel Fireball broke won it. I tweeted, it really was Pro Tour Murders at Markov Manor after all.
You're doing great, bud.
Thank you. It was very
Good one.
cool. I was very happy with that. And you'll be happy with
Your
these
comedic
picks
timing
because they're
is
great.
really what sold that for me.
Okay, well, I think that wraps it up for us. Looking ahead, I'm doing commentary on the NRG event this weekend. In fact, when you listen to this, so check that out. I believe the next event is not for me. After that may not be until early May with the Pro Tour in Vegas or so.
Yeah, I'll be in Vegas.
So, yeah, a bit of a break for me. Jason, what have you been up to? Did you pre-release, by the way?
I pre-released and regretted it.
Oh, why?
Actually, I had a fine time. I redid a blocking assignment, and the guy's like, "I would have won if you hadn't done that." I was like, "Oh my god, take the match! What are we doing here?" So like, I very much scooped to people at the event. I
Okay,
didn't care,
sure.
but like, actually, it's a pretty fun limited format, and I bought a couple pre-release kits because there were lots left over. And they were fun. So I came home and Lily and I are building decks.
I will say that, and I don't know where I'm going with this. I had more people at my store not know about the pre-release than ever before. And I don't think you can even chalk that up to them not liking Ninja Turtles, because they're players who started playing in the past 6 months or so with the Universes Beyond set. But what I did take it to mean is that the deluge of things and everything has really watered down pre-releases to such a point that they weren't even aware that the next set was coming out in 2 weeks or a week. That said, we had 32 people at our pre-release, and we've had 2 pre-releases now, and that was the biggest one we had. We sold all of our kits, so it was great for us. Obviously, I have a very tiny little limited view into it, but like I said, it wasn't historically pre-releases have been this thing for everyone. No matter what your level is in Magic, you do a pre-release. Even if you're not an active Magic player, you do a pre-release. And now it's active Magic players don't know about pre-releases. It's like the complete inverse of how it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what to make of that. So, I mean, it's not like they're not playing Magic, but the pre-release itself does not seem to be the thing it used to be. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for us this week. So everybody, we want to thank you for listening. We want to thank our sponsors over at BAN, and of course, thank our patrons who go to patreon.com/BSB. They get access to the podcast early, which is huge, especially on a week like this week where we accidentally went deep into some Magic Finance. You also get access to the Discord, which has valuable information in it as well. And you get to, bug us whenever you want, which has some value in and of itself. So thank you for listening, everybody. This is Brainstorm Brewery. We'll see you next week.
Bye. See you in Vegas.
Go to Commander's Herald and just click on a bunch of shit. It literally doesn't matter what you click on. Just
Well,
click on
Jason,
a bunch of shit.
Real